Hey and welcome to the entire month of January of me slowly losing my sanity by digging out a full chunk for every single follower I have on TikTok. Yeah, I chose manual labor as a thank you gift. That's a big brain decision if I ever see one. But honestly, this month been kinda special. Every block that I broke is did because someone out there hit follow, and that's pretty wild to me. A month ago, back in December, this was all just an idea that sounded funny in my head, and now it's turned into a weird mix of like a challenge and low-key a diary of how far this page has grown so far. And some days it was really chill, just mining, vibing, and thinking about ideas that I can add to this. And other days, absolute suffering. Lava, water caves, pickaxes breaking, trying to get new ones, and oh my god, starting to slightly feeling burnt out doing this, and me just questioning every life choice that led up to this digital hole in the ground. But every time the follower number went up, it felt worth it. Like, that chunk wasn't just a chunk, it was a person going, yeah, I'll stick around, and that actually means a lot more than I expected. So seriously, thank you to everyone who joined this month, wherever you've been here from the start or just randomly found one video and decided to stay. You're the reason this world is getting a giant hole carved into it. But hey, I'm still learning, still experimenting, still figuring out what kind of creator I want to be. But my goal is simple. I want to keep improving, bring out better videos, get better ideas, get better at editing, and like just better at everything, to the point where I can confidently say that I make good content, or at least decent content that's worth your time. And this is just the first month of the year, and we've already got progress both in the game and on this page. So if you're here now, you're officially part of the grind era. And if future me is watching this recap, I hope the holes are bigger, the videos are better, and I finally learned to not start projects that scale with follower accounts. Anyway, that's January. Thanks for being here. Let's see how much worse this gets next month. Welcome to day 1 of digging out a chunk for every follower I gain. Today we start with 1 follower, and that means I have to dig out 1 chunk. The first 50 or so blocks weren't too hard, they didn't take too long, but the deep slate layer really took a while. I couldn't insta-mine it anymore, and I couldn't just insta-mine the deep slate because, you know, phase 2 and Affinity 5 you can't break deep slate instantly. But I pushed through and got the chunk done. And I dug about 27,000 blocks. I had to repair my pickaxe like 3 times during the entire time. And that was the first chunk. I will now go and prepare for the second chunk. When the time comes, I will dig that one out too, and any following chunk after that. And if you liked the post, leave a like, follow me to make me suffer more And yeah, have a good day or night, whatever time it is for you. So yeah. Welcome to day 3 of digging out a chunk for each follower I gain. And today I started with 3 followers, so I dug out 2 more chunks. Yeah, so it's been fun. The recording of this took 3 hours. It's hilariously long. I made 2 additions to the mods of my world. The first one is motion capture, so I can capture these top-down shots now. And the second one is Insta-Mine Deep Slate. I've noticed yesterday while I while I was editing the last post that it's gonna take a long time to go through the deep state layer of this project, and might be an issue if I have to dig out like 10 chunks and all of them are stuck at deep state, and it takes just 3 hours just to get done one chunk. So I decided to put that on. After I made the decision, I instantly ran into problems with the motion capture. It crashed while I was replaying one of the captures, and I had to basically redo the stone layer for both chunks. So that was fun, and yeah. Let's check up on the water. It's almost done. I'm cutting that out. What the what? What is that? What is that? What is that? What kind of scene appeared yet? I always come back. What? What is this? What is this? I'm so confused. Just gonna leave. I just got done digging this out. How did this appear here? I'm so confused right now. Welcome back to day 3 of digging out a chunk for each follower I gain. Today we started with 19 followers. That is 16 more than yesterday. So I got stuff to do. A lot of work, but I hit multiple underwater caves. That means I had to go get sponges from a nearby ocean monument, which is, by the way, 4,000 blocks away. And yeah, got them. This session today took like 13 hours. I've been playing this game for 13 hours straight now. At some point took a break from digging to get the sponges and to build an enderman farm, because my zombie farm that I have is lacking. It's just not fast enough. When I was digging out the big area that's shown in the first trip, I had 2 pickaxes break. Each of these pickaxes took an hour to replace. But at the end, I only managed to get 8 chunks dug out of the 14 that I needed. It's been a long day. 14 hours to be exact. Almost 15. And I can do it. I cannot do it. After 8 chunks, and that was already awful. So I'm gonna give myself a couple hours to dig out some chunks, get as many done as needed, and then be done with it. I am so drained. Anyway, the total blocks mined right now are 338,752 blocks. That's gonna be it. Have a good day, night, or whatever, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully. I need a break. Hey, and welcome to day 4, not day 3, day 4 of digging out a chunk for each follower I have. Today we're 21 followers. That means that's 2 more than yesterday. And let's get started, yeah? So when I started today, I was at a deficit of around 10 chunks, with the 2 new guys on top. And I managed to dig out 6 chunks. It's almost as many as yesterday. But given I already had the 6 chunks started, that's only like really 3 chunks. And yeah, I now only have like 4 chunks to go, and I hope I can get out of the deficit by tomorrow. Heya, and welcome back to day 5 of digging out a chunk for each follower I have. Today we're at 25, that's 4 more than yesterday, and I dug out 4 chunks today. Since it's Monday right now, it's 5 AM, and I have to go to work in a bit. Ugh, disgusting, cringe. I know, right? And yeah, so one thing I want to talk about. A couple of days ago, I had someone ask me in the comments why I don't use a world eater to dig out these chunks. And it's rather simple. I have actually 3 reasons for it. First one, this is my forever world, and I am against using TNT dupers, which, if I'm not wrong, most of the world eaters use in the first place. And second is, I work exclusively in claimed chunks, so even if I were to use TNT, it doesn't destroy anything, right? And the last reason is simply my opinion here. Well, it's technically all my opinion, but that's besides the point. I think it is too easy if I were to use a world either modded or unmodded. And yeah, that's pretty much all. I have to get all of the other chunks right so I can continue tomorrow. Hey, and welcome back to day 5 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have. Today we're at 29. That's 4 more than yesterday. And let's get to it. Today I managed to dig out 3 chunks, but still at this rate I am on track to beating the deficit, which is currently sitting at 5. But anyway, so far this project has been real fun, and I'm not even 1% done with the chunks that I want to dig out and the way I want to dig them out. And I have a little prediction that at this going rate I should be done with digging them out by 2029. Yes, in 3 years. But that's still a bit out, and well, I will just keep on digging like a good little guy.
Want to see a magic trick? Good. Abracadabra!
Welcome to day 7 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have. Today we're at 30. That's only 1 more than yesterday. Feels good to beat the deficit. Anyway, how do they say it? 3 chunks a day, keep the 9 to 5 way. Anyway, I dug out 3 chunks today. And if I keep going like this, I should beat the deficit by tomorrow. It's currently only 3 chunks to go. And seeing how just mere days ago I was at a deficit of 10 chunks or more than 10 chunks, I'd say I did a really good job of keeping up. And yeah, so at the current state I mined like 707,000 blocks, and I don't feel like it's all that much in the grand scheme of things. I'm at like almost 0.5% done now, and if I double the chunks now, I'm like 1% done. It's like nothing, but you know.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad! You keep digging!
Hey, and welcome back to day 8 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have. Today we're at 37. That's once again 7 more than yesterday. Anyway, I dug out 3 chunks today. I feel like this is going to be a going theme, digging out 3 chunks and getting more followers. The deficit right now is at 7. It has been raised from 3, which minus 3 chunks, it would have been a 0. Anyway, I have to ask for a moment of silence for the 6 pickaxes that broke so far during the entire project. They've been doing God's work. Okay, right, let's start. Alrighty. We have now reached 750,000 blocks mined. That is 0.5% of the entire project, give or take a few. And getting to those 150 million is gonna take a long while. But I'm ready and I will dig them out. Maybe only with my hands, maybe don't. I don't know. I still think world eaters are boring. Anyway. Hey and welcome back to day 9 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have. Today we stayed at 37 followers. That's literally the same amount of followers as yesterday. Anyway, I dug out 5 chunks today. I had a bit more time than yesterday. So that brings down the deficit to 2. But I have a feeling that it's gonna jump up to 8 again. Because that seems to be the going theme here. Anyway, today I got some stats for y'all that I've been keeping track of since I started this entire thing. So, in total I have spent 48 hours just digging. And in that time I have repaired my pickaxes 99 times, each repair on a pickaxe counting as 1. I have killed 28,425 Endermen in the process of that. And I broke 7 pickaxes. And since the creation of my world, I have died 17 times, 4 times to creepers, once by a skeleton, stray and zombie each, and the rest contributed to fall damage while I was trying to reach the chunk I was working on. Welcome back to day 10 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have. Today we are at 41 followers. That's 4 more than yesterday. I celebrated those 41 followers by digging out 4 chunks today, keeping the deficit at 2, where it belongs, and not at 6 or 8, like I said yesterday. Anyway, on to today's story of the day. I finally decided to move my world up to the newest version of Minecraft, which is 1.21.11 from 1.21.1. This, however, came with a whole array of fucking problems. The problems being mostly centered around the Create mod, which the version or the mod that is updated for Create and Fabric is the Create Fly mod. That mod, however, is buggy as shit in simple terms. I had to load a backup of the world that I made before the switch, so I can empty out the vaults, because when I switched to 1.21 at 11, all the vaults on the world were completely empty. It's over 1 million items gone in an instant. So I had to load back and to transfer all the vaults into chests, which is like 300 chests or so. And the worst of all, the entire world now has holes in it that I have to fix, and I had to replace my entire inventory twice, which is rather annoying that it happened. It just happened, but you know. Welcome to day 11 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today we started at 42 follower, 1 more than yesterday, and I dug out 3 chunks, and with that I have officially beat the chunk deficit. It took a while, but I got it. I am now unstoppable. Okay, so today's story. After like 5 to 8 hours of troubleshooting my world, I have managed to fix it, got rid of most of the issues, most of them. And I now have a version of the world where there's no holes, but I had to basically use MCA selector to delete 2 chunks of the world. One of them being my workshop, the other one being in the mob farm. You can take a wild guess why. It was because those two were the chunks where I had create contraptions in. The only two chunks in the world, by the way. So I deleted the chunks, cut my losses, and well, I completely had to remove the workshop. But hey, I am now on version 1.2111, and I can now officially stab mobs with a spear. And then I'm gonna grill them over a campfire, like the fucking lunatic raccoon that I am. Hey, and welcome to day 12 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today we are at 50 followers, that's 8 more than yesterday. Woo! And I only dug out a single chunk today. Because I'm starting to feel like I need a break from the game. Over the last almost 2 weeks, I spent like 8 to like 12 hours a day just working on this. Like clearing out chunks from water and just digging them out. So today I only dug out one chunk, and while doing so I broke a pickaxe like the smartest person on this planet that I am. And yeah, so I do want to avoid getting burnt out from doing this project. Also, and that also sounds not very healthy and stuff. Hey, and welcome to day 13 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today we are at 51 followers. Sorry, that's exactly one more again than yesterday. And today I dug out 2 chunks. Not much. I just I'm still taking it slow right now. And today, just digging out the first chunk took like 3 hours. So I decided, it'll be probably really, well, not funny. I just wanted to see how a create contraption performs in just digging out the chunk, and it took half an hour, which is wild. Sure, there was some things I had to do, like remove water so it doesn't flood the entire area and shit, and doesn't lag out the world. But it's like, it takes half an hour just for the entire chunk. I can do the entire chunk in one go, and the worst part is, it's still scalable. I can make the thing bigger, as you can see right now. It took like 4 stacks of drills just to get there. I currently don't have the resources to make another 16 by 16 of just drills. I'm probably not going to until I hit like a very large deficit in chunks. But like this right here, I feel like if I hit a 100 chunk deficit, I'm probably gonna use, just so I can speed it up a bit. I'm still gonna dig out the chunks by hand now, but I'm keeping this in mind for the future. Hey, and welcome to day 14 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today we went down to 50 followers. We lost one brave soul to the chunk. His sacrifice will be remembered. I mean, probably. And yeah, I dug out 2 chunks today. It's nothing crazy. Nothing crazy happened today, except I'm pretty sure I broke another pickaxe. Oh, wait, actually, let me check my notes on that. Yep, another pickaxe. That makes 11 now. And I got bored and did the math on how many pickaxes per chunk that is. It's like 1 pickaxe every 4.7, let's say 5 chunks. Which is probably efficient, really. Like what, 100,000 blocks per pickaxe? But probably not, who cares? So the current progress is, right now we are at 0.78% of the chunks that I plan to dig out. And the chunks to come are an ungodly amount of chunks. Hey and welcome to day 15 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today we stayed at 50 followers. Nothing changed here. And today I dug out 2 chunks. I don't know what's with me and just paying attention, but I broke another pickaxe today. And at this point, if I break any more pickaxes, I will have to build a grave for the fallen pickaxes. It's like the chunk keeps expanding. I keep thinking this is fine, but then I stand at the top and realize it's only going to grow from here. Every layer that I remove just reveals more and more and more. No shortcuts, no mercy, just stone, time, and the commitment. All these diamonds and ores, all of it, just feels like a small reward from the ever-growing chunk. And sometimes I think I'm making progress, and then I look around and realize the chunk doesn't really care how much I've done. It is hungry. It hungers for expansion. And tomorrow it will receive more. Hello and welcome to day 16 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today we are at 53 followers. That's 3 more than yesterday. The chunk will be placed with this. Today, the chunk demanded for its daily expansion. It demanded I dig out 2 more chunks, and I complied. With each layer of blocks I remove, the less it feels like I'm simply digging out chunks in this world. And it's starting to feel more like the chunk is giving me permission to do so. I keep telling myself, I'm still in control. But really, I think this chunk is slowly taking over. With every block removed, with every chunk cleared, it's slowly, ever so slowly, growing stronger. And eventually, it will become unstoppable. Welcome to day 17 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today we are at 54 followers. That's 1 more than yesterday. The chunk today will be placed once again. Today the chunk demanded for its daily expansion. It demanded I dig out 1 more chunk, and so I dug, revealing more of its power. This hole, it no longer feels like it's something I'm just digging out. It's almost like it's starting to feel. This must be the chunk's influence. It remembers. The stone remembers that it will grow and become more powerful. And the chunk doesn't even care about the values hidden in the stone. It doesn't care about the time I spend making it more powerful and so much larger. It doesn't even care about one of these 13 pickaxes that have fallen to its expansion. And it only cares that it grows and becomes more powerful. Yeah, and welcome to day 18 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today, we're at 55. That's 1 more than yesterday. I'm pretty sure the chunk will be pleased again. Today, the chunk once again demanded I dig out 1 more chunk. And I cannot not dig out a chunk. I really tried to stop this time. I just couldn't. I just couldn't stop digging. Even after yet another pickaxe broke, I couldn't stop. 1 million. 1 million is the number of deep slate blocks I have removed so far. That is half of the total number of blocks I've dug out. And the chunk, he doesn't care. And I think he never will. He will never care about how hard I work or how long it just takes for me to dig it out. He just cares about his growth, I think. And sometimes I think when I'm replacing my pickaxes, if I'm long enough away from it, maybe I can rest. Maybe if I just leave my tools in my chest, I can just take a break. But I think I just may be cursed forever. Cursed to help the chunk grow. Hey and welcome to day 19 of digging out a chunk for every follow up on TikTok. Today we are at 60. That's 5 more than yesterday. I think the chunk will be placed with us today. The chunk, as usual, demanded its daily expansion. It demanded I dig out 2 chunks. It's like I don't have anything better to do than just dig. The chunk doesn't care anyways. And as always, I'm just powerless to stop it. And today, the chunk expanded into an ancient chamber. A trance chamber. That it almost looked like today that the chunk's curiosity got piqued. It's like as if it's looking for something or someone or anything, and the chunk did make me go inside and explore it. I couldn't find what I was looking for, but I found an ancient core, which is quite heavy too. And I used the core and the breeze to make a maze out of it. I'm hoping this will help me fight off the chunk's influence, but really I doubt it. And the fact that the chunk was looking for something or someone sure is interesting, to say the least. Welcome to day 20 of digging on the chunk for every follow up on TikTok. Today we stayed at 60. I don't think this chunk will be pleased today. Today I started digging before the chunk even demanded it. I don't remember deciding to do so. I just did. The digging today went as usual. A familiar rhythm between swinging, breaking, and collecting and storing the blocks. And I told myself today that I'd stop after these 2 chunks and finally get some rest. But I didn't. I never do. The time today passed without me even noticing. I've only realized what time it was long after the sky went dark. And I also wrote myself a note to remember something, but I'm not sure what it was for. Not that it matters now anyway. I must keep digging. Hey and welcome to day 21 of digging on a chunk for every follow I have on TikTok. Today we are at 61, 1 more than yesterday. I'm hoping the chunk will be pleased with today. Today the digging felt easier than the last couple days. Even though the difficulty stayed the same, I just stopped thinking too hard about it. Even when yet another pickaxe broke, I just simply replaced it. There was no shame, no frustration, nothing, no emotions whatsoever. And that's a surprisingly new thing. And I just kept digging till everything around me drowned out by the sheer will just to dig. And at some point I even stopped feeling tired, because stopping now would create a so much worse feeling than being tired. And that was a surprise, not a welcome one at that, but it was one. And I just kept digging. And kept digging, and just working for the expansion of the chunk. Hey and welcome to day 22 of digging out a chunk for every follow I've on TikTok. Today we're at 64, that's 3 more than yesterday. Today I just stopped measuring the progress. All these numbers, they don't help anymore. They just go up and up and up. The chunk, it just grows and grows. And I help with it. I move inside it almost like I'm becoming one with it. And I try to picture the surface. All the biomes, animals today. This image I imagined didn't last. I couldn't even remember the feeling of my own home. Or even the feeling of my bed. And every time I go into the chunk, I forget the feeling. And it's being replaced by the need to dig. And all those past feelings, they just feel like a distant memory. Hey and welcome to day 23 of digging out a chunk for every follow I have on TikTok. Today we're at 65, 1 more for the chunk. Today felt almost the same as yesterday. The motion of digging is easier now. My hands, my body, they know what to do. And I actually stopped paying attention to what I'm actually doing. To the point my attention only sprung back when a pickaxe crumbled in my hand once again. I've also noticed that I don't look up as often anymore. The walls of the chunk are so much more familiar than the surface. I know now the chunk better than I know myself. And I don't even feel tired anymore, just worn in, like a tool that's been used for years now. And I also stopped checking how many more chunks I have to dig out. It doesn't seem important to me anymore. The only thing that matters now is the work must continue and the chunk must grow. Hey and welcome to day 24 of digging out a chunk for every follower on TikTok. Today we are at 69. Nice. That's 4 more than yesterday. So I don't have an actual script for today. I've been doing for the couple last days. Just normal talk right now, coming right from the top of my head. So today I ran into some issues. I switched over to using the replay mode a couple days ago, and while I was playing today, well actually after I finished digging out today, I tried to go and record the replay, but I can't access the replay of today. So I just cut my losses earlier and just went for digging out another 2 chunks, which is the footage in the background right now. And I was like, oh, well, F me, 4 chunks it is today. So I dug 4 chunks out, obviously. But it still sucks because I've lost like 2 hours of footage that I could have used today. And it really hurts to see. And I finally finished the chugger box of pickaxes image in the background right now. And that took a while. I had to like AFK with my create rule for like 10 hours or so. But it now works. I have a chugger box of pickaxes. I don't need to go kill Enderman after like being halfway done. And yeah. Hey and welcome to day 25 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today we're at 70. That's 1 more for the chunk. And today I asked the chunk how long this will take, or what even would happen if we are finished. Even though those questions feel unnecessary, it didn't answer as expected. When I started digging today, I noticed at some point that I had started earlier than usual. Not because I meant to, it was just because my body decided that now was the time to start. And the work today went smoothly. No mistakes worth noting, no pickaxe broke today. The only thing that slowed me down was the trial chamber we expanded into a few days ago. And let me tell you, those trial spawners take a long time to break. And tomorrow will come. The chunk will expand again. There's nothing I can do about it. It is what's going to happen. Hey and welcome to day 26 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today stayed at 70. It's an unchanged number and the chunk won't be pleased. So today's more of an update day. We have dug 2.3 million blocks so far and I have wasted 130 hours now in the past 26 days. When I woke up today, I obviously checked the notifications on TikTok to see how many new followers I've gained. I saw 2 new more. I was at chunk 69. Nice, by the way. Yesterday and I was at 70 followers yesterday. So I thought I was now at 72, but it's stayed at 70 because people aren't unfollowed. So now I am at the chunk deficit of -1. I'm actually up 1 chunk because I just didn't see it. And yeah, well, and I have some updates like the chunk draw that I've been putting in for the past 2 days. I think it's only going to be like a once a week thing now. It's incredibly hard to write. And just some bullet points real quick. Like, what is the chunk looking for? What is it we are doing? And who is the chunk? Are all things that are going to be addressed at some point in the coming days, weeks. And I'm just trying to flesh out the quote-unquote lore a bit more to make it better, just better in general. Because I really didn't like the last like 4 or 5 entries of the lore. And that's something I'll be working on now behind the scenes. Welcome to day 27 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today we are at 80. That's 10 more than yesterday. Woo! Celebrate. A lot of new people. Anyway, today I want you all to guess the build, or the symbol that I'm digging out. And if you manage to guess it, I will build a 16 by 16 pixel art, of course within the limits of survival Minecraft, of your choosing in your respective chunk. The only two rules that I really apply here are you have to follow and you have to comment your guess. That's it. Nothing more. And with that, let the guessing begin. And I also have a thing of the day today. Well, it's actually two, but who cares? Today I broke yet another pickaxe. And I'm still wondering what's with me and paying attention to what I'm doing. But like, I have broken 17 pickaxes so far. 17. Each pickaxe comes with like an hour of AFKing or just mining to replace it, right? I have no idea. I also had to repair my shulker box of pickaxes, which comes down to around 27-30 pickaxes that I had to repair, minus the one that I broke. Hey and welcome to day 28 of digging out a chunk for every follow life on TikTok. Today we are at 106. That's 26 more than yesterday. Where the ever-loving fuck did y'all come from? Please explain that. Man, I said yesterday there was a lot of people already, but now it's like a lot. Guess I have to throw my entire script for today out of the window. Just write this new one. Also a little thanks to the people yesterday who put in a guess. Sadly, no one was able to guess it, so no winner for that one. You can still keep guessing, however, and I'm pretty sure one of you will eventually get it. I also have a thing that I want to announce. With the now 30 chunk deficit, I will be doing a 24-hour stream over on Twitch, so that will be interesting. And in that stream, I will be digging out the chunks, obviously. And if you subscribe on Twitch and you follow me on TikTok already, I will be building a 16 by 16 pixel art within the survival limits of Minecraft of your choosing. Did I say that this stream will be on February 2nd, by the way? Probably forgot it already. Hey, yeah, and welcome to day 29 of digging out a chunk for every follow I have on TikTok. Today we are at 127. Another 11 for the chunk. Today I dug out 2 chunks, and during digging today, the following question came to mind. So if I had to pick a chunk or chunks that I really enjoyed digging out, which one or ones would it be? And honestly, I would say chunk 16, 17 and 68 and 69. Why, you may wonder? So chunk 16 and 17 were 2 chunks where there was just a big ass cave and like 30% of the entire chunk was literally just air, barely any work. And it was pretty quick to dig out. And well, 68, 69 were one of the recent ones from like 2-3 days ago. Those 2 chunks, 68, 69, had the trials chamber in it. And I don't know why, but I really enjoyed digging out the trial chamber. It was pretty annoying, to be fair, but I enjoyed that shit. Now that the chunk 68, 69 dug out, and I just see the trial chamber in the walls, it's just like a wow effect to me. And I have no idea why. And before the time runs out today, I was meaning to insert an image of my Twitch profile yesterday, which I kinda forgot to do. So here it is. Hey, yeah, and welcome to day 30 of digging out a chunk for every follow I have on TikTok. Today we are at 132, another 5. And I have dug out another 4 chunks. When the stars screamed into existence and clawed at the void, thinking they rose above the dark, Null was there, waiting ever so patiently, unchanging and eternal. When the first civilizations burned the skies and named their gods, Null listened in silence. When they vanished, Null did not mourn. And when new ones arose, it did not rejoice. It simply was. And when the ancient whispered that the universe was not born of chaos, but born of subtraction, a grand balancing act of seeking its own annihilation, every birth, every war, every prayer, each its own variable, drawn to one inevitable outcome. And when the stars dim, when memory fades, when even silence forgets itself, in the endless stillness, the final equation resolves. All things return, all things equal, all things end, everything returns to null. Hey and welcome to day 31 of digging out a chunk for every follower I have on TikTok. Today we are at 134, another 2, but I countered that with digging out 4 chunks. Y'all will not keep me down for long. And as you may have noticed already, I made a new thing. I spent like 3 hours today learning how to turn my Minecraft skin into a 3D model, and well, that was a terrible idea to be fair. I had a lot of fun with this. Anyway, I'm gonna now put this little guy that I made and put him in the post now, I guess. So it just isn't me talking over the gameplay anymore, and y'all get a little reaction. Let's be realistic here. It won't be good at first. It's gonna be very bad. But I will try and improve slowly as it goes. Oh, by the way, this all happened live on stream. So if you don't want to miss out on my shenanigans, you should totally also go there. But only if you want to, of course. I already feel like the time's running out for today, so I will see you again tomorrow. Please like, follow, and leave a comment. And I will see you again tomorrow. The chunk will be waiting. And that's the end of January. 1 month, a lot of blocks gone, and a lot more of you here than when this started. Which is still really crazy to me. Every follower this month literally shaped this world, and I don't think you understand how motivating that is when I'm 3 pickaxes deep, surrounded by just stone or deep slate, questioning everything. We're still at the beginning of this whole project. I'm still learning, trying to improve, figuring out what works and what doesn't, and what's fun, and what's just me accidentally signing up for digital suffering. But you being here makes me want to keep pushing it, making each month better than the last. So whatever you like, comment, followed, or just watched in silence, thank you. You're part of this now? This giant hole? Yeah, that's our hole. I'll see you next month, and I'll be probably deeper into the project. See ya.